Hi everybody, this is Kathy and welcome back. In this video I want to talk about the day that adult protection was called by Eric, and this would have been September 2nd, and this live stream was done later that day, well, in the evening. As you can see, it's getting dark out, when Patrick and Eric were staying in the Airbnb together. And this is the day that Eric called adult protection. And you know what? It's always kind of funny, and I just love it, that whenever I am working or thinking about doing a video, like God, the universe, whatever, the heavens above always intervene and give me something out of nowhere. And while I'm doing this video, thinking about it this morning and doing this today, I came across a video of this secret recording of when Eric called adult protection. Now, little did he know, Eric was over at Patrick's house. Patrick was gone. And little does he know that Patrick wired the ring cam opposite of what you would think. So when you turn the ring cam, the switch up, like a light switch up where it should be on, it's actually off. So when Eric came over and flipped the switch down, what he really did was put it on and started recording Eric. Eric didn't know it. But on this day, a whole lot of trouble got stirred up. And Eric was acting like adult protection was pushing these papers on him to take custody, or whatever you want to call it, of the Whitakers. Now, mind you, just 8-9 days ago, everything was fine, but there's been this big emergency that Eric stirred up. Now, we all remember the day before the APS, and this is where Eric, this is Labor Day, Monday the 1st. Now the next day is going to be the phone call to adult protection. So while he's here, and it did very much seem very phony, how he's just pouring on the love and everything. And like I've said before, you can see Larry's body language. He's got his arms folded. He just doesn't know. You can tell there's something weird here. And this is also the day that, it was the weekend that Patrick posted the video of Larry stealing the gas. Even though Larry did what he said the week before, and we're going to go over that clip. Larry did go and get the restraining order against BJ, but he didn't tell enough about abuse or something. We're going to go over that. So, with blackmailing him of, we'll show that video of you stealing gas, and we'll turn it into the police if you don't get the restraining order. So Larry goes, tries his best at court, and Patrick and Eric didn't think it was good enough. So they posted that, even though after Larry did that, Patrick posted that video of Larry stealing the gas anyway. And this is the day that Larry told Eric privately in one of these back bedrooms that this is not good. You guys told me you wouldn't post that video, and you did it anyway. So in this picture here, this day on September 1st, on Monday, he just got double-crossed. Larry got double-crossed, and the rest of them about to get double-crossed the next day, because remember, next day was when he told Betty that she has to come down to the adult protection services, and there's going to be some papers for Eric to sign for guardianship of Timmy. And that really spooked her, and it should. It really should. And so anyway, Betty didn't show up, and Eric was, in his words, he said many, many times, he described himself as livid. Now, for days, Eric's been doing all these pictures, photo ops of how good he's taking care of Timmy and all this other stuff. And give him the TV and all that. And this is the picture that the morning of September 2nd on Tuesday, the day after Labor Day barbecue. I guess you would call it Black Melon Barbecue. Labor Day Black Melon Barbecue. And this is the morning that he's going to bring Timmy down to adult protection with Betty and sign a bunch of papers for Eric to get guardianship of Timmy. Yes, and he was anyway, I'm not even going to touch that. So, as I'm working on, they're thinking about getting some clips together today about this video. Lo and behold, here is this video comes from a couple days ago from Psychology Eats. And she puts out this video of Eric on the phone with the county worker that Tuesday morning. Remember, Eric didn't get his way. Betty didn't show up. He's already, obviously, there's another phone call that wasn't recorded. And the reason that we have this, obviously, is because it was on Eric's ring cam. Now, he's over at Eric's house calling adult protection because it's the only place you can get service, phone service. It doesn't come in down at Whitaker's. So anyway, here's this phone call that I just happen to really need right now. So thank you to Psychology Eats and whoever else put it out. Okay, now remember, Eric is under pressure to get this done fast. Okay, because just a week ago, and they actually in that same video that night, him and Patrick said, oh, we didn't even know there was abuse as of a week ago. That's right. So in the last week, Eric's been working double time, triple time, overtime, because on Saturday the 6th, it was agreed that he could take Timmy back home to Georgia. So he's pushing for these birth certificates and this custody or whatever, the guardianship papers for Timmy. He's pushing hard. And when Betty didn't show up that morning so he could get the guardianship papers, because remember, the next day, Eric's friends come in on Wednesday, and he's going out of town, and guess what? By the time the restraining order on Thursday, Eric supposedly at the Amish farm, and I wonder how many missed calls he had, because very conveniently on the day of the restraining order, Eric is unavailable. He's out of state. Nobody, probably can reach him. I wonder how many people tried to call Eric and say, hey, today's the restraining order, but conveniently, Eric was gone with all his friends out of state. So remember, and he's going to come back Friday. He's going to blow the deal off and say it's all their fault. And taking Timmy home. And as a matter of fact, do you know, I do have another theory about this too, because the first time Eric and his friends came back from the Amish, BJ wasn't around. And so he couldn't do the big theatrics. So he said they left and got pizza for the Whitakers and came back. And at that point is when he saw BJ in the camper. So it was 2 tries before he saw BJ in the camper that day. But remember, it's very urgent after Labor Day and everything. He's like I said, it was so horrible the way he treated everybody like that with a dagger behind his back in his hand. You know what I mean? Because the next morning, this is all happening. And so you're going to listen to this phone call where he's over at Patrick's house. And little does he know, but when he turned the ring cam off, it was actually being turned on. So here's that morning, Tuesday morning the 2nd. And this is Eric being livid over at Patrick's, trying to get a cell phone signal over at Patrick's. Doesn't know he's being recorded, but he is on the ring cam. So he gets a hold of the county worker. And obviously there's been a previous phone call because he doesn't have to explain who he is or what's going on. The lady already knows. So let's listen. And also on this ring camera, and I'm sure we're going to hear that one roll out soon, Patrick also has Eric also on the ring cam, I think the same day, but he has Eric on the ring cam being recorded without his knowledge, that talking to his wife. Eric's talking to his wife, telling him, making sure it's okay that he brings Timmy home. So we're gonna listen to Psychology Eats here, her video.
Or you know what I mean. I think it could work.
And she has a good point here, and this is what I've said too. He wanted to have like shared custody of Timmy, and Timmy's not up for sale. He is not up for adoption. He's not at an orphanage. You know what I mean? With a little suitcase packed, hoping he gets adopted. He's got a home. He's got family. But they're talking about shared custody. So we're going to hear her speaking along with, she will be commenting on this too.
You could be with the thing for a month and passion.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. So Eric was trying to push to have 30 days with Timmy, then Patrick could take 30 days with him. When was y'all going to ask Lorraine? When was you going to ask her?
Or you know what I mean. I think it could work. But only. Hey, sorry for doing this. I'm at Patrick's house.
Now here he is talking to adult protection. Obviously he's got a rapport with them, okay? And this part is just so hard for me to understand, how this adult protection just like went running for this. It just is crazy to me. Go ahead.
And my phone don't work out here, so I get FaceTime. Betty's not here because somebody came and convinced her this morning that I am on the internet trying to get the family taken away from her.
Betty said, "Oh no, I'm out of here." Betty went hid over in the holler next door to their holler. Betty was out.
As she should.
Is there any way, I know you guys have talked about coming here at one point. Is there any way that you could come here and let her know in person that that's bullshit? I would really appreciate it.
And she said, yeah. The county worker said, yeah, we'll come tell her it's bullshit. Like, what? I just thought, this is so weird how they just came running because Betty doesn't want him to have guardianship right now, today. Like, what? And anyway, go ahead. I could say a lot.
In person. That's bullshit. I would really appreciate it. I'm like livid right now.
Again, every time he talks about this, he says he's livid. Livid? Just so
I would
strange.
really appreciate it. I'm like livid right now. It's Larry. Larry's trying to convince her because I got BJ gone.
Because I got BJ gone. Yeah, and that was his goal for the last month, to get BJ gone, ever since that copper stuff rolled out. But go ahead.
I would really appreciate it. I'm like livid right now. It's Larry. Larry's trying to convince her because I got BJ gone. You can't.
This lady must have a very small caseload for her to pick up the phone, number one.
Exactly.
On FaceTime and agree to go out to the Whitaker's house in one day.
That's what I thought too.
Thank you. And I will buy you lunch.
I thought the same thing. Hold on a second. Okay, my computer is locking up, so this has been difficult. But anyway. But she's right. Like they're sitting around like the Maytag repairman, just waiting for someone to call. And he calls and they rush right out there. But let's keep listening. Hopefully this will play.
Come here and let her know in person that that's bullshit. I would really appreciate it. I'm like livid right now. It's Larry. Larry's trying to convince her because I got BJ gone. You can't.
This lady must have a very small caseload
Exactly.
for her to pick up the phone, number one, talk on FaceTime, and agree to go out to the Whitaker's house in one day.
Can you come down?
Exactly.
Thank you. I will pay your gas. And I will buy you lunch. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And that is so weird. He offers to pay for her gas and buy her lunch, and the lady didn't even decline. She didn't say, "Oh no, we can't do that." But anyway, isn't it funny how he just throws money around at everybody to get his way, just like the Airbnb people, like all of them. Just throw money at people, make them do what you want. Tell them you'll pay for the gas, buy them lunch. These are county workers. I don't think you're supposed to do that. Yeah, pay their gas and buy them lunch. Okay, so then he makes this video. And again, he just called the APS from just a minute ago. And we heard that recording. And now he's going to make this video telling you how live, and he's going to tell us he's living and all this other stuff. But anyway, go ahead, Eric.
Hey guys, I'm at Patrick's house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm heartbroken.
Heartbroken. Livid. Heartbroken and livid.
I don't even know what I'm feeling right now.
Mixed emotions.
I met with the state the other day. We was meeting with the state about BJ to make sure that she was protected. This was before we got the protective order. Because we were not being gave the protective order. Adult Protection Services, to be exact. When they met me, they let me know they'd been following the work. They were big fans, and that we were...
So not only can they just rush out, and if you offer to buy them lunch and pay their gas, and just rush out on a quick phone call, what they have also time to follow your work, and they're big fans. Like, I mean, I know it's odd, West Virginia. I know things are a little odd there, but this is just bizarre to me. Like, it's just. This is what adult protection people do. Big fans. Big fans.
They were big fans, and that we were basically the only ones that had ever done what was supposed to be done. I was met with a stack of paperwork.
Met with a stack of paper.
They asked me about doing guardianship of the family and Timmy.
They asked Eric about doing guardianship of the family. Anybody believe that? Raise your hand. Well, I don't know. Maybe they do. I just heard a bunch of bizarre stuff. Maybe they did. I don't know. But why would they offer you, Eric, of all people? You know what I mean? Why you? They offered him, and you just heard. Well, actually, he asked Adult Protection to bring the papers out for Timmy. Guardianship of Timmy. He asked them to bring the papers out, and now he's acting like it was just a big surprise. I've got 2 recordings where he's acting like I was shocked. I didn't know what to think when they gave me these papers to get guardianship of Timmy. I was just like, wow, I'm so flattered. Anyway,
they asked me about doing guardianship of the family and Timmy. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
This stranger from out of state.
I understand it.
And oh my gosh, he just got done admitting he's been speaking with all the authorities, state authorities about this family for the last week. He just said that. And now he's saying they brought the papers over and he was blindsided that they wanted him to get guardianship of Timmy. This out-of-state YouTuber is supposed to be fundraising for their house. Gets blindsided by the Adult Protection Agency when they whipped out this giant stack of adoption papers for Timmy. He never saw that coming. Go ahead. Although him and Patrick were not only talking about joint custody or guardianship of Timmy not that long ago on a live stream, but they even were going to make t-shirts that says "My Two Dads." So now that you've been dealing with the authorities and bringing the state into the home, and calling all kinds of trouble in the home. Now you're going to pretend that you're blindsided when you asked that you're the one that asked them to bring the papers, and he's acting like it was all their idea.
Big fans, and that we were.
They're big fans.
The only ones that had ever done what was supposed to be done. I was met with a stack of.
No, Mark never did anything. But a stack of paperwork.
Done what was supposed to be done. I was met with a stack of paperwork. They asked me about doing guardianship of the family and Timmy. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I was blindsided.
He's being honest.
I understand it because right now something happened to Betty or Larry, Ray, Lorraine, and Timmy would be gone. However, after we...
And says who? And if something happened to Betty, Larry, Betty, Ray, and Lorraine, and Timmy would be gone. So why does this have to be done today? Why are you livid it's not done today? Now, I've thought about something. Well, right off the bat, actually. But I've been really thinking about it lately. I'm going to do another video on that. But why does this have to be done today, Eric? And why are you livid it's not done today? Like, it's not like Betty and Larry are on life support machines right now and they're about to pull the plug on both of them. It's not like, why does it have to be done today? Why are you livid it's not done today? Well, it's because you're leaving on Saturday. You're leaving in, let's see, you're going out of town you're going to disappear for a couple days. And then you're going to show up and take Timmy out of town on the 6th. You're going to bring him home to Georgia. So you have 1, 2, 3, you have 4 days before you go back to Georgia. That's why you're livid. And it's all their idea to give you these adoption papers. Like, good grief, he was blindsided, you guys.
I understand it because right now something happened to Betty or Larry, Ray, Lorraine, and Timmy would be gone.
Mm-hmm.
However, after we got BJ evicted and the order, one day I went down there and Betty was acting really funny. She didn't want to go with me.
Then you should have said, okay, well, my work's done here, and you should have went home. Like, who pushes for this stuff? Didn't want to go with you to get guardianship of everybody in the family. And who would? I wouldn't want to go with you. Raise your hand if you want to go with Eric down to the county and have signed papers for him to have guardianship of everybody in your family. Raise your hand. Who does want something like that to happen? I mean, what kind of person does? Actually, forget it. Just raise your hand if you do want Eric to come over and bring you down to the county and sign guardianship for all your family members that you don't even know.
Day I went down there and Betty was acting really funny. She didn't want to go with me. And once I finally got her out of the house, she told me that Larry had told her that I'm all over the internet telling people that I'm trying to get the state to come take Ray, Lorraine, and Timmy away from her. Which
is exactly what happened. And not only did it happen, but afterwards you had done live streams that said that you this is what you wanted the whole time, and you're glad that it happened. And the very last live stream or the last video you put out on October 3rd, you actually came right out and said, I'm glad they all got taken away. I'm glad they're all somewhere away from the family. I'm glad about it. I'm happy they're taken away. So it's kind of morphed a little bit into, I don't know nothing about it too. And he's the only one pushing for all this. Go ahead.
I'm trying to get the state to come take Ray, Lorraine, and Timmy away from her.
Which they did on stretchers.
Have you guys ever heard me say that I want the state to come and take them and to take them away from Betty?
You didn't come out and say it, but after it happened, you admitted that that's what was your goal. And the only thing I think that went wrong on your plan is that Timmy got taken too. You see, I think you thought they were going to hand you Timmy and then just take away Ray and Lorraine as collateral damage. And you would have these papers and a seat in the passenger seat ready for Timmy and a bunch of junk food to head back to your house. Bring him home. And that was going to be in 3 to 4 days. So, yeah. I mean, that's where your plan got foiled. They were supposed to just take Lorraine and Ray, I imagine, in your plan. And you were supposed to take Timmy. But they took all three, and I think that's when the wrench got into the
plan. It's 100% fabrication.
No, that would never happen. It happened like 3 days later.
I was supposed to be meeting with the state again this morning.
6 days later, it did happen.
Because they wanted to offer some help to Betty. And I wanted Betty to be there. I didn't feel right being alone. Okay?
Because Betty had to sign those papers. That's why he needed Betty there, and that's why he's furious. Betty had to sign those papers, those guardianship papers. And without her there, he can't. Those are the papers he needed to take Timmy home, probably pretty much for good, in my opinion. Now here's a clip of Patrick, first of all, admitting that now that all the damage has been done, admitting that he never thought BJ ever abused Timmy, but he sure was there on the destruction train to having them taken away. So this is Lady K's live stream. They're asking Patrick about this. So let's see, and it is I'll show you the live stream.
Patrick. It actually works.
Right there, Lady K, Patrick taking questions.
But if you can, I would like you to answer it as honest.
Just go for it, Marty. I know what the hell you're getting at.
No, you don't. You don't. Because
I was trying to place his laugh. I was thinking maybe it was one of the Muppets from Sesame Street. He's got a very distinct laugh, and I think it's Pee Wee Herman. I'm trying to figure out who that is. I think it's a Pee Wee Herman laugh. Not sure, but anyway, go ahead.
No, you don't. You don't. Because you don't. Because I don't. This is more for the Whitaker family. Do you think that that BJ ever abused them?
No.
Okay, thank you.
You should have said that a month ago.
I needed to know. I wanted to know.
I don't think that. I think it's bullshit, and I think that it was verbally charged by Eric to get some kind of a hype up to cause chaos, and that's exactly what happened.
Do you think he meant to break up this family like this?
Sure he did. His damn intention was to take Timmy back to Georgia. I don't know what he was thinking.
Oh,
do you have any, what made you believe that? Was it through a text message or just his actions? Because we heard him say that he wanted to take, we did hear him say.
No, you did.
We did.
Hey,
so I want to say this. We heard him say it. He wanted to take his he didn't say content, but I'll say it the way I interpret it. I want to take Timmy back, but the way I'm taking my content back with me.
Okay, well, let me tell you this. This is not hearsay, and this is not bullshit talk. This is straight off my Ring camera because Eric thought that I set my Ring camera up that my light switch turns my Ring camera on, but down is off and up is down is on and up is off. So he was down here talking to his wife on my porch, talking about bringing Timmy back down there and trying to...
And talking to Adult Protection. So that's one smart move Patrick did, is he tricked Eric into thinking nobody was listening. So anyway, bravo to Patrick for that. And I don't care how you laugh. You know what I mean? I like when people laugh. But anyway, go ahead. I mentioned this earlier about him doing the Ring cam, and that's how they got the... And there's more. We're going to hear this, right, Patrick? You're going to roll this one out about him talking to his wife. Patrick or somebody rolled out the Ring camera we just showed you, where Eric was, recorded talking to Adult Protection. Now, I'm sure the previous calls about Adult Protection from Eric were, somewhere where he had service and some privacy. You know what I mean? Anyway, here we'll finish this.
To his wife on my porch.
Oh, here. Back this up.
My Ring camera on, but down is off and up is down is on and up is off. So he was down here talking to his wife on my porch, talking about bringing Timmy back down there and trying to woo her to make sure that it was okay that he could do so. So that's on camera.
Wow. I'm sorry, but it is so clear that would have destroyed Lorraine and that would have destroyed Timmy.
Yeah, I mean, it would have because...
You know what I'm saying? Like, could Timmy really recognize, I'm going away permanently from my mom and that's okay with me?
Nope. before Timmy knew it, he would be, and remember, Timmy's nonverbal, so you can't tell the people around him he wants to go home. Anyway, that's, I think, why Eric was getting him used to being away from home and making it seem so fun and wonderful to be with away from home. So my guess is, and that was all this day here on the 2nd. Then his friends came in and he just disappeared, and then came back and blew his stack about the restraining order. This was the day that he was supposed to leave. So I believe somewhere between the 2nd and the 5th, Eric was told, you're not going to get Timmy. He's not going to get Timmy, I believe. In my opinion, my guess is they told him, yeah, you ain't going to do this. You're some stranger from out of state. Nobody even knows who you are. And you just met this family. So I think he was probably turned down by the state to get the, adoption papers or custody or whatever they call it. And this day he had to make up a big excuse why he's out of here and he's going to take the money and there's not going to be a house. Because this is the day he was supposed to take Timmy and it was a no-go. So, that was that. Then later that night, they put out this live stream, also September 2nd. This is that night. Like I said, Patrick and Eric are in the Airbnb together. And Patrick is acting really weird. He keeps looking at somebody in the room and he seems, I don't know, angry, but he doesn't say anything. So shame on you, Patrick. You should have spilled the beans a long time ago what's happening to your neighbors. You said you let Eric come in from Georgia and just completely destroy this family while you sat back and said nothing. Now you're saying that BJ was set up and there was no abuse at all and all that. Well, how come you didn't say it here? Because in this video on September 2nd, and this was just days before they hauled the family away. Because I'm going to show you something else on this timeline. Hold on a second. So, remember, the 2nd that is when they came over, and I don't know, somewhere in here that he found out he's not going to get Timmy. Everything falls through, but he didn't leave town. Remember, I said, why is he sticking around? Well, as he told the security guard, get out of here because they're coming. The authorities are coming. So this is the day that they hauled the family away. Eric didn't get what he wanted, and this is the day that they all got hauled away. And Eric knew in advance. He told the security guard to get out of here. Authorities are coming. They said they were going to arrest Patrick or whatever, but they got the security guard guy out of in his camper off the property. Then they came, as you saw, and hauled everybody away. So, Patrick, now you're saying it's, if you would have spoke up at the beginning and said that Eric is charging all this up and making a big deal out of nothing, BJ never abused anybody, and all this stuff that you're saying now, that family wouldn't have been hauled off and Eric wouldn't have been able to do what he did. And you stood by and watched this happen to your neighbors who you said you were there, knew them your whole life. I cannot imagine doing it to my neighbors. I've been up here less than 10 years, and I would never allow somebody come in on, especially through me, and destroy the family and call in the authorities and cause us trouble and sit by knowing nobody's abusing anybody, but watching him bring authorities and the police in and haul everybody off. And you sat there and said nothing, Patrick. These were your neighbors. These are supposed to be, aren't you guys supposed to be thick down there? I know I live in a small town, we're thick. First thing when I moved up here, the lady down the road came up, the farmer lady came up and with some couple cartons of eggs, chicken eggs, brown and blue and all kinds of cool eggs from their chickens. And she said, anybody ever gives you a problem? She gave me her phone number. She said, well, we got your back, her and her husband and the whole family down there. And we all sit together here. And I would never imagine inviting somebody like Eric or anybody from anywhere, out anywhere, and having them come and videotape my neighbors and then start doing this and just sit by and watch them destroy my neighbor's family. And then watch the authorities come in with police cars and social workers and adult protection and stretchers and ambulance and everything, and still stand by him and say nothing and actually go along with the abuse. Because, Patrick, I have video of you saying that, we told, BJ, I had a good talk with her and I told her she can't be around the family because she's too abusive. Well, really, now you're saying she wasn't abusive at all. So what is it, Patrick? You're just as compliant and you're just as responsible to that family part. Because like I said, I would never do that to my and I didn't grow up here. I didn't know these people my whole life, but you did. And I would never do that to my neighbors and allow this to happen and be compliant and complicit in it. And sit there and help him get away with this. And now you're complaining. Now you're saying she wasn't abusive and all this. In fact, Patrick, have you gone down to adult protection? Have you told them that, no, the BJ wasn't abusive? Have you told any authorities to help get that family back? Patrick, what have you done to help get that family back? Because we know you've withheld the money from them. You have. I don't believe you've given them a dime the whole summer, tens of thousands of dollars. So now they have you withheld the money. When he tried to get a gallon of gas from you, you blackmailed him with the footage, threatened to call the police and have him put in jail. This is your neighbor, dude. I'm not even going to keep going on. I'm just getting annoyed. I just can't even believe you would do this to your neighbor. Now Eric's gone. Now you're not getting paid. This is karma. Pretty quick, too. Didn't take long. But you're getting the karma, Patrick, because you went along with this. And now Eric has turned around and backstabbed you, along with the rest of the family. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think you should complain at all about what Eric's doing to you, because at least your family hasn't been ripped to shreds and locked away somewhere. Who knows where. Anyway, thanks for listening. And that is what happened on Tuesday, September 2nd with the adult protection. Thanks for watching. Peace.